Assalamu alaikum students. My name is Dr. Muhammad Islam. I have done my PhD in Applied Linguistics from University of Leeds, United Kingdom. Today I'll talk about and introduce you to the field of English language teaching, which is a major discipline of Applied Linguistics. English language teaching is generally known by its acronym ELT, which is used throughout the world, including Pakistan. English language teaching, or ELT, is primarily concerned with the teaching and learning of English and its various socio-cultural manifestations. Its importance in the field of applied linguistics may be gauged by the fact that most of the recent research in the field of applied linguistics have been directly related to English language teaching. That is why many of modern applied linguists even go on to say that ELT and teacher education are the most appropriate concerns of contemporary applied linguistics. Some of the major components in the field of ELT include language learning theories, language teaching methods, language skills, socio-cultural perspectives on English language teaching and learning, research in the field of applied linguistics, language and education policies in general. This clearly implies that in today's world, ELT is not reduced to the teaching and learning of English language within a classroom. Rather, it goes beyond it and talks about various socio-cultural issues that the learners and teachers of ELT might confront, and they may in reverse have an impact on the learning and teaching within the classroom. These issues might involve various cultural or identity issues of the learners and their teachers as well. English is being taught throughout the world, especially in those contexts where English is known as a second or foreign language. Because of its importance in international arena in today's world, English has almost become a compulsory subject in various parts of the world. For example, in various contexts, it's being taught as EFL, which is known as English as a foreign language, or ESL, English as a second language, or English as an international language, which is EIL. This is a recent phenomenon when there is a growing realization that English has emerged as a language of international communication. So it must be taught beyond the scope of its native speakers, and those elements of this language may be included in its teaching, which make it a language of international communication. English is also taught in those communities where English is known as the first language. In such communities, there are various people who come to these countries for their future prosperities or various socioeconomic reasons. These immigrants are taught TESOL, that is teaching of English to the speakers of other languages. One of the popularity of English and its teaching in recent years is also because of the socioeconomic vitality of its native speakers. Most of the English-speaking countries are developed and vital in socio-economic terms. So the people from different parts of the world just converge in these countries to seek their better futures. That's why English has become a language of international communication, trade, commerce, higher education, and more importantly, intercultural and intellectual discourse. This makes it even a more necessity for the modern man to learn it. Many countries start teaching English language at the very beginning of the life of their young learners. For example, in Pakistan, especially in Punjab, we start teaching English language to young kids right from the beginning, from the grade 1. English is the principal or primary language of United Kingdom, USA, and Australia. The Englishes of these countries vary from each other in pronunciation, vocabulary, and spellings, but these languages do provide standards to the Englishes spoken in other parts of the world. For example, British English provides basis for the varieties of Englishes spoken in Ireland, Wales, Scotland, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, India, Pakistan, Malaysia, and South Africa. Similarly, American English provides basis for the varieties spoken in United States of America and Canada. Language teaching and learning are not easy affairs. They involve so much complex things within themselves. The difficulties of learners may increase if the difference between their own local native language and English language is greater. Learners of English usually commit mistakes like those of grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. That is why many experts have recommended some principles of teaching English language. One of those is the selection and gradation of material. A teacher should be vigilant and wary of the selection of the material he wants to introduce to the classroom. He should be able to know that his students would be able to manage that material in a proper manner. Similarly, he should be able to introduce that material in a proper order based on the needs of his students. A teacher should also be aware of the theoretical and pedagogical concerns of the material being introduced to the class, because any language program should have a clear philosophy and ideal to be achieved. Otherwise, the goals of language learning would be affected badly. In the last, teachers should also be aware of the presentation and practice of the material within the classroom. He should present it in a way that it looks learner-friendly, and he should present it that often that students may be able to rehearse it and learn it according to their abilities. This was a brief introduction of English language teaching and its various socio-cultural manifestations and issues. I hope you benefit from this. Thank you very much for listening to me patiently.